All right, all right, all right. Can we make this happen today or what? I'm praying for a miracle. I'm praying that everything does what we wanted to do, because yesterday was quite a day. I don't know how many of you guys were in the stream yesterday, but we went live for about 25 minutes or so. We were doing great. I was doing great. I was talking my little butt off. Things looked great. We were pretty happy, and everything just went black. just died on us. And Andrew and I tried to get in there and fix it all and get everything up and running. We went live again. Boom, everything went black again. We could not figure out what it was. YouTube was just having a day. It has a day sometimes. But I think today we're going to be okay. So we're going to be talking about how to fix your channel. We're going to be working on through some of the steps of the things that you need to be paying attention to. I'm going to be pulling up some channels. And I think today that we're going to be good. I'm just kidding here. We're going to make this thing happen today. Right now, Andrew is having a heart attack. He's like, no, not again. I'm sorry, pal. So listen, we have some questions from yesterday's, I had to do that, I'm sorry. We have some questions that are still left over from yesterday's questionnaire. I'm going to get to some of those. I'm also going to take some stuff right out of the chat today. We're going to be moving kind of quickly, and I'll be looking back and forth at a few things, so be on your toes. At any time, anything could happen. It's going to be one of those days. So listen, the first thing I want to do is I want to pull up some of the questions I didn't get to from yesterday. They're kind of important. They're important to me. When you guys take the time to put a question in, I want to make sure that I answer them. We got about halfway through, and there's only about 8 or 9 that weren't answered, and I want to see if I can address those. So let me get to those quickly. Let me scroll through a little bit here. I think we got through number 8 or 9. I'll pull it up. The last question I remember was something about backlinks. Or I think it was actually Marcel's question about should he restart if things were going poorly. David 3000 asked, if I'm stuck at a certain amount of subscribers for like a week or more or so, what should I do? That's a really great question. It's funny. I don't like people to think that YouTube growth is this one straight line that goes right up and never stops like a straight line. It isn't. YouTube growth is more about, think about like the stock market, where things go up and then they go down and then they kind of move around. You ever look at the Dow or the NASDAQ? You see the stock line, it looks like a mountain range. But what you're trying to do overall, over a period of time, is have growth overall move upward. So I never panic when you don't get subscribers for a week or if views are a little bit down. I just make adjustments and I try to pay attention to what's working and what isn't working. And I'm a big fan of always try to think what you can do to capitalize on the success of your channel. Don't be afraid to look at the content that's done well on your channel and dig back in and see if you can double down on some of those higher performing videos that have done well on your channel. I've said this before, your channel will tell you when you're doing something correctly. If you learn to tap into those vibes and learn to really read what's going on. And you don't have to be an analytics master. You just have to be able to feel like when views are going the right way, when your overall trajectory is moving, when your subscriber growth is going the right way. You'll start to feel like, all right, things are connecting. And if you can tune into that and you can double down and capitalize on that, man, things get so much easier, so much easier. So don't panic. Stick with it. Stick to best practices. Try to connect with that audience, and things will work out. Next question I had from yesterday. Eve's Beats. I'm a hip-hop producer. I'm trying to grow, but I'm only uploading beats. I see other producers on YouTube, and they have a lot of growth, which also only beat uploads. I would like to know what steps or even small steps to make changes with my channel. It's really tricky when you're an original artist. I talk to a lot of original artists, especially I was at VidCon with Andrew and the gang from Tubebuddy just a couple weeks ago. And we had all sorts of different creators would come up to the booth, and all I was doing was channel reviews, pulling up their channels on a laptop, walking through, trying to find out what they could be doing better, what things that they needed to capitalize on. The thing I will say about original artists is you fall into the same category as any other creator. The trick to growing on YouTube, don't compare yourself to other channels. You need to figure out who your target audience is, what value you offer them, and then how you're going to connect with them. So if you're just uploading stuff and you're uploading beats and you're like, man, I'm not growing fast enough, then you need to think about a better way to find that audience. Like, why do they want to watch your videos? What's your beats? Are your beats downloadable? Are they things that you're giving away that they can use in their own music? If you can figure out ways to create more attraction to the thing that you're doing, then you'll get more interaction, the viewers will start responding, and then YouTube will start recommending your content more. Because I said this yesterday. What it comes down to when you think about YouTube growth, it really is YouTube is just out there measuring how well you're connecting with your target audience. YouTube doesn't promote channels randomly. They don't decide, I like this one, I don't like that one. They leave it all up to the viewer. If the viewers like your content, then YouTube will recommend it more. And that's it. If YouTube sees that your viewers are clicking on your content more, or if they're watching for a longer period of time, if they're doing things more on your channel, if your viewers are really digging the thing that you're making more than the next guy, which is really the next guy in your niche, or the thing that you're targeting, then it will promote it more. And that's your real goal. You're just trying to connect with your audience. So it's really important that you know who your target audience is, what value you bring to them, and why they should watch. All right? Glance over at the chat really quick. Scrap and Pallet Man, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Strong channel growth right there. Love his channel. Let's see. RVDM. We're getting close to hitting 1,000 subscribers in about 5 months. Congratulations. That's awesome. What's your advice for getting from 1,000 to 10,000 over the next 6 months? How do we level up? Thanks. Let me tell you something that most people don't explain to people. Did I say people too many times in that sentence? Let me tell you people what people don't really tell people nowadays, people. The thing about YouTube growth is it's exponential, and it will increase over time. So it's cumulative and exponential. Those are big words. I don't even know what they mean. I have a thesaurus. Before I got online, I wanted to make sure I used big ones, so I looked those up and I wrote them on the wall. What I really mean here is that if you have 25 videos up and you think that your growth is like, I got to almost 1,000 subscribers with 25 videos. If you think you're going to put up another 25 and that will get you in the same period of time to 2,000, that's actually not the truth. What happens is as you build a catalog of material, as you build videos that all work together, what happens is all of those different videos start producing return on your investment of making those videos, and you'll see exponential growth from all of those videos working together if you do it properly, right? So for me, it took me 5 months. My channel is now, what are we at? I think I'm at a little over a year and a handful of weeks. It took me 5 months to get to 1,000 subscribers. Five. But as I kept building content and really hammering down on my value proposition, I got up to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I hit 10,000 in 10 months. So in the second 5 months, I grew by another 9,000 subscribers. And in the first 5 months, I only hit 1,000. So it was the ability to build something that was going to work together as a machine to really connect with that target audience. And I hit 10,000 a little over 2 months ago. And as of today, I hit 20,000. Thank you. Thank you. I know you're saying, good job, Daniel. Or you're swearing. What the heck are you doing, Daniel? But that's the way it works, because I keep building upon my own successes. I keep trying to do the things that I'm doing correctly over and over again. I try to repeat the things that I know are working for me, and I try to eliminate the things that aren't. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Another question. We're very close to the end of the questions. Garrett D, what guitar do you have behind you in the background? That's funny. This is actually a custom-built guitar I made. It was a kit. I kind of hand-cut some parts. It's kind of a Rickenbacker 3 1/4, kind of like a John Lennon with a Bigsby on it. I don't know what that has to do with YouTube, but it looks cool. I do play it every now and then, but it's that's a hand-built guitar. Next question. Let's see. That doesn't mean anything. What does the moderator mean in the chat? It means you're cool. If you got a wrench like Paul Peck or Andrew Can, that means you're cool. That's all it means. Alex Parker Bell. When starting a channel, do you focus on watch time or subscribers as most important? Neither. You focus on your value proposition, which is what is your channel about? Who's your target audience? Why should they watch your content? That's all you should focus on. And then you should be making content to connect with that target audience. That's all of it. Don't even think about subscribers. Don't even think about watch time. All of that stuff is just ways of measuring how well you're connecting with your audience. So I don't say don't pay attention to it, that stuff, but especially when you're brand new, you're trying to build something. So if you have a handful of videos out, 5, 10, 15, 20, you're too young to be freaking out about watch time or subscribers or anything like that. What you should be doing is trying to hone your channel so that it becomes a very narrowly focused thing that does one thing really well. That's what you want to build. You want to get away from all that vague stuff that makes your channel hard to understand. You want to be simple, you want to be focused, and you want to be clear in the message that your channel sends out. So anyone who even glances by it goes, wow, I know exactly what this is. I know what this is. No questions asked. The better job you do at that, the quicker your channel will grow. That's it. That's it. Big secret right there. 15 of 15, last question. Matt Hayes, Tottenham blog. I just reached a milestone for monetization today. Congratulations, my man. That's a big one. That's a big one. I want to tell you right now, the vast majority of channels on YouTube do not make it to monetization. Do you understand that? 97% of channels do not make it to 10,000 subscribers. This is why I'm here talking to you people. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I want you guys to all start thinking about how to improve your channels. It's easier than you think. It just means that you have to take a very few things, get really good at them, and do them over and over and over again. That's the trick. If you can figure out who your target audience is, what they're looking for, how you connect with them, and just keep working on making stronger and stronger content, the rest will take care of itself. That's it. That's what it really is. He asked, what are the best ads to put on a 10 to 15 minute videos? I'm inclined to avoid non-skippable ads because personally I hate them when watching a video. Yeah, ads, they are what they are. They are what they are. I tend to put, I let them put the skippable ads at the beginning of my videos, and that's kind of it. When I do a long live stream that I repost that might be an hour and a half, I'll put an ad in the middle that's still skippable at usually like the half hour mark and maybe one at the end. So maybe you'll go like a half hour in, you get hit with an ad that you can skip. And then another half hour goes by, I'll hit an ad and then one at the end. I'm not a big fan of ads, but when they first came out, people were freaking out about them. But they're part of how we make money. And I'll tell you right out, like a guy like me at 20,000 subscribers, I'll tell you exactly what I make. I do about $350 to a little more than that in a 28-day cycle right now, currently for my channel in my niche, which works out to about, I don't know, maybe $4,500 a year to maybe $5,000, which is nice. But it's certainly not $4,500 to $5,000. It's certainly not the kind of money for a guy like me that's going to pay my mortgage or do anything like that. I think Paul Peck, actually, he pays his mortgage with his AdSense, I think he told me. But you can make money, but it's just another portion of the things you should be doing to generate revenue if you're on YouTube. When you first reach monetization, it's fun. It's really cool. It's one of those things you go, thank goodness I accomplished something. It's a huge accomplishment. That first 100 subscribers are the hardest ones out there, period. Hallelujah. If you don't think the first 100 is hard, they're the hardest. Then the next hardest is the first 1,000. So reaching that monetization is wonderful. When you start getting that ball rolling, it's validation that you've reached something. It's a goal that you can set that I think every one of you can reach. Every one of you can reach. So, I mean, I don't want you to get overwhelmed because a lot of people who hit monetization, they might make $10, $15, $20 a month in their first when they're at 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers. So it's not life-changing money. You have to get up to the 10, 20 more, 1,000 subscribers before it starts turning into a few $100s a month. So you focus on, again, growing your channel, reaching that target audience, because that stuff will all fall into place. Don't freak out about the ad revenue. Trying to tweak it at 1,000 subscribers, you're not going to get enough views that it'll really matter. I hope I didn't go on too long about that, but I really want you guys to think about that. I want you all to have goals, and I think reaching monetization, that's a great goal. That's a great goal. I was so happy when I first reached monetization on my first channel. I have another channel. And then this one hit. It was like, it's a great thing to aim for. Really important. But there's ways that we can go about finding. I talked about this. I'm going to get to your channel reviews in a minute. But there's ways that you need to structure the way you do things in order to set yourself up for doing well on the platform. And there's a couple things that you can do. I've talked about this many times. One of the things that you can do is think about how you structure your channel. A lot of times when I pull up channels, I talked a little bit about this the other day before I got cut off. I tell people, listen, YouTube wants you to do only a few things. It's not really that hard. YouTube wants you to bring people to the platform. It wants you to get them watching, and it wants you to keep them watching. So if you can do that, that's the whole goal. You go like, oh, okay, that's what YouTube wants. And the reason they want that is because they want to be able to feed those viewers ads and make money while those people are watching. So the better you do that thing that YouTube wants you to do, the more YouTube will reward you. And the best way to do that is to figure out how to connect with that target audience. And I've said this before, the thing that your channel has to do is it has to let people know your value proposition, which is what your channel's about, who your target audience is, and why they should watch. So if you can put those 6 things into your brain, burn them in, bring people to YouTube, get them watching, keep them watching. How do I do that? Well, let them know what my channel's about. Let them know who my target audience is. Let them know why they should watch. Do that, you'll win. And I said this the other day. I have people tell me, like, I'm doing everything right. I can't seem to grow. I'm doing it all right, Daniel, but I'm not growing. And then I go to their channel, and the first thing I see is this. I'm like, really? I go into their channel, in their channel art, I see this. What is that? A bird, a square, an F, effing. That might get us demonetized right there. Facebook links, LinkedIn links, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. YouTube wants you to keep people on the platform. Get them watching, keep them watching. And then I go to channels that tell me, Daniel, I don't know why I'm struggling. And the first thing I see before I even scroll down, they've got all this stuff in their channel art. Telling people, hey, welcome to my channel. Go someplace else. I'm like, wait. If you're doing it in your channel art, then what am I going to find in your videos? And what am I going to find in the rest of your channel? I didn't even get past the channel art, and you're already telling people to go somewhere else. You really have to start thinking about intentionality, being intentional in everything you do. YouTube is a vast platform that gives us a lot of options, right? We have a lot of ability to do many things with this platform. But just because we have all those options doesn't mean that you should be filling in the blanks. Like, oh, it said I could put a Twitter link here, so I did. Well, think about why you're doing that. You know, if you went to my channel, the only thing I have is a subscribe button, which should be the very first link in anybody's channel art. I don't care who you are. Subscribe. Put it up in the channel art. And then the only other thing I have is my website, because I am a channel consultant. I do get paid to do this. So I book through there. So it generates revenue. So yes, if people go to my channel, I might send some of them off platform because some might see the website and go to it. But then I book consulting gigs and I get paid that way. So I know I'm going to get slightly smaller growth, but for a reason, because I get income in return. And the whole reason I do all of this is I try to make a living. I'm trying to make a living here. So it's important for me to do all that, but it's intentional. And I want you guys to be intentional when you put your channels together, because I'm going to pull a few of them up very soon and maybe even randomly. So be prepared. One thing I really want you to think about is when you're trying to reach the target audience, there's something that people don't talk about. People get wrapped up in subscribers and views. Views are important, but let me tell you something. Not all views are created equal. And think about that for a second. Sometimes people go like, I got 5,000 views, I got 10,000 views. This guy got 20. You don't know where views are coming from. We're trying to get views from our target audience, people who really love our content, people who we connect with, people who will come back and watch more of our content. Because there's people out there thinking, hey, should I run ads? Should I run ads on my channel? I could get more views if I ran ads, right? Yeah, but not the right kind of views. Because YouTube is judging us on how well we're connecting with our target audience. That's what they're going to use as a reference point to start promoting our content across the platform. How well we're connecting with the target audience. So if we do it well, we want quality views. Not all views are created equal. So don't think about just views. Think about views from people that are really engaged viewers. Because the thing that's really important, most important, super important, you need to connect with engaged and active viewers, people who really like your content and watch your videos, people who leave comments, people who hit the like button, people who share your content. The reason that's important is because every time you put up a video, you publish a video, the first thing YouTube does, you might have 2,000 subscribers. Do you think that YouTube sends your video out to 2,000 people? Nope. Nope. They do not. They do not. They only send it out to the most active subscribers. They say it's the people who have hit the notification bell, but that only works sometimes. And if you don't have notifications turned on your device like your phone, you won't even get the notifications. So you have to make sure that the people that you're engaging with really like your content. That YouTube's looking and saying, okay, well, we'll send it out to the most active subscribers. People who are subscribed to the channel, who engage, who watch videos. We'll see what their viewing habit is. Because YouTube cares more about the viewer than they do us. And that's a hard pill to swallow. They need the viewers to enjoy the content. They need to satisfy the viewers. So our job is to go, okay, we hear you. We hear you, YouTube. We hear what you've told us. Connect with our audience. My job, I heard you. Now leave me alone. I'm going to go connect with my audience. So every time we put up a video, YouTube watches, puts it out in front of a few people, a few really active subscribers, and watches what they do. And if they click very quickly, like your thumbnail shows up on their homepage or gets recommended in their subscription feed, or they get a notification and they click it, oh, good, you've got a new video up. YouTube watches and goes, okay, all right. And then they watch how long they watch for. Because YouTube uses these data points to figure out if people like your content. Unfortunately, one of the things you don't understand is that YouTube is not really good at figuring out what quality video is. The only thing it understands as quality is if people click and watch. So our job is to get them to click and keep them watching. And if YouTube sees that your new video that you just published connected with this small group of people it pushed it out to, it nods and says, okay, let's push it out to a slightly larger audience. And then it sees what they do. Do they click quickly? Do they watch? Do they watch for a decent amount of time? And if they do, YouTube starts looking at those viewers and figuring out other viewers who may be similar in their view habits and tries your video in front of them. And that's the whole cycle of getting a video to gain traction. That's all it is. You're just trying to connect with people. The better your video connects, YouTube keeps pushing it out, and as long as it keeps connecting, they push it out a little more, and they push it out a little more, and they push it out a little more, as long as the data they keep getting back says people like it. So number one goal, make sure that the views that you're getting are from people who are connecting with your material, that love your content. Really speak to them. Think about, I just want to connect with my target audience. And there's a few ways that you can start pushing that. I talked about this yesterday. You should be your own best salesman. When it comes to creating content, when you make a video, you can actually recommend other pieces of content in your channel, right on your channel. And you can do that very simply. You can put another video into your end screen, and you can tell that viewer, hey, if you like this one and you made it to the end, check out this video. And you think, yeah, well, that will get me another view. But it does more than that. Because if that viewer clicks on your end screen and watches another video, you've increased the chances of that viewer getting served your next video when you publish it. Because you're starting to influence the behavior of a set of viewers. You did this. You recommended your content. You were your own best salesman. And that's only one spot. There's actually 4 spots in any given video that you can easily recommend your own content. The second spot is cards. Writing your cards. Somewhere, YouTube recommends that you should not do that anywhere less than like the last 20%. Let 80% of your video go by before you drop a card. We've experimented with different things, putting it where the average view duration drops off. But if you put it before the end screen, recommend a piece of content, and then it gets recommended again, you can even put the same piece of content. You're starting to subliminally tell people, hey, check this other one out. Hey, check this other one out. They get to the end of your video. Hey, did I remind you? Check this other one out. It's really cool. If you thought this was good, this is related to it. It's kind of cool, right? And then if they click on that, bam, then you start seeing some traction. You start influencing the way the viewer behaves. You have other places you can add too. Your description. Did you know that suggested traffic, by definition, includes views that were driven by links in a video description. So if you get people to click on another one of your videos from within your description, that actually increases and shows up in your data as suggested traffic. So when people say to you, well, how do I get more suggested? I get searched, but I want more suggested. Be your own suggested. Recommend your own content. Be your best salesman. Get out there and say, hey, you're watching this video. Throw them a card. You might like this one. Throw them an end screen. Hey, don't forget this one. Description, have you checked the description? Don't forget this one. There's places you can do it. And there's another great place that people forget, pinned comments. When you put a comment in your own comments section, you can pin it, and it stays up top. No matter how many comments, your comment is always right up top. So when someone watches your video, the first thing they see is you saying, you like this one? Check out this one. This one's pretty good too. I think you might like this one. And in those 4 places, if you start influencing viewer behavior, it's more about what you're trying to connect with your audience on, the way you're trying to get them to interact with your channel. Because it isn't just about getting one more view here or one more view there. You're creating audience viewing habits, and YouTube takes notice of that and notes that down. And every time that viewer who watched another video from your end screen or clicked on something from your pinned comment, watched another video, guess what? They're more likely to be served your next video when you publish it. That's how you grow. That's how you grow. You make great content, and you keep pushing your own content from within other content. Make it relate. Stay really narrowly focused. If you're making videos that are all over the place, one day you're doing travel and one day you're doing beauty, probably the person gets to the end screen and goes, yeah, I don't really want to watch that other video. It doesn't relate to what I'm thinking. This is why it's really important to stay very narrowly focused and try to stay one topic, one lane, really get in tight and connect with one type of target audience that shares one particular thing with you. Best way to start is a small channel. Stay in one narrow lane, right? They call it niching down. Really important. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is how you're presenting some of your content. I think people make this mistake sometimes. You have the ability to create playlists on your channel, and you can do a few things that people miss out on. If you were logged into YouTube, right, and you log in, you just go to your homepage, you'll see this show up. And what you'll see is an option to customize your channel right next to the YouTube beta link. And if you click on that customized channel link, it gives you the option to do 2 things. One, it allows you to put featured content for returning subscribers, and it allows you to put another piece of featured content for new visitors. And why that's important, why that is important, is really, really something I want to make sure you understand. I see a lot of people build playlists where they put uploads. I go to the channel, it says uploads. Well, what is that? Why do you have uploads there? Well, it shows my newest piece of content. You could be using featured content to be highlighting your newest piece of content. Boom, throw it right in front of people's faces. If I haven't gotten the notification from your channel that you put a new video out and I want to find it quickly, if you've got it featured every time you upload a new one and you put it right in a piece of featured content for a returning subscriber, I click on your homepage, boom, there it is. I don't need uploads. It's right there. And if you have a really strong piece of content, forget a trailer. Trailers are fun. Sometimes they work. But if you have a really high converting video that does really well, that converts subscribers, turns viewers into subscribers, put that in as the featured trailer area, the for new visitors, something that is proven by data that it tends to get more subscribers when people watch it. That way, no matter who comes to your channel, a viewer who isn't subscribed or a returning subscriber, you're hitting them, bam, bam, here's my new content, bam, oh, you're new? Let me show you something strong. Let me show you something I think you'll like. Then under that, you can start building out the playlist that I want to talk about. I talk a lot. Can I take a breath? How are we doing in the chat, guys? We're going to talk about doing some channel reviews here. We've been saying this for a while. Who out there thinks that their channel has their act together and is brave enough to have me go rip into it? Let's see. We talked to Original Race the other day. Let me pull up the channel. There's one channel that I have to hit first that I absolutely said I would take a peek. He's been waiting. Let me just dig back a few here through the questions to see if anyone else was ahead of them. But yeah, I'm going to pull up some channels. And everything that I just told you, I wasn't just rambling, because when I come into your channel, I want to see that you've done the things that you said that I just talked about, that you put them into play. Because one of the things I really want you to understand, Hard Knocks Television, that's who we're going to pull up. One of the things I want you to understand is when we talk about getting our content put together in a specific way, to make sure that we're reaching our target audience, it's so important. It's so important. And if you miss some of the things that we've talked about earlier, and you've got your channel kind of pushing people in multiple directions, it's going to be harder to grow. And I know when I say fix, I don't want to make you guys feel like your channels are broken, or that you're doing something completely wrong, or that one change will suddenly make things better. That's never the way it really works. The reality is that you want to try to improve your channel to make sure it's firing on all cylinders. The better you can do that, the better the chances are that your channel will grow faster. And channels grow different speeds and different niche. So, let me do this. Let me go over here. I'm going to pull up Hard Knocks Television channel. All right, here we go. Hard Knocks Television. All right, the one thing I like right off the bat, you've got a strong channel art up here. Hard Knocks TV, wrestling gameplay, real commentary, new fight every Wednesday. So you've got your schedule up here. Let me do this. I'm going to pull my pen out so I can scribble all over your channel and make some notes, because that's the cool thing to do. When you scribble on someone's channel, that apparently makes you important. So right here, look at this. This is what we talked about. In his channel art, he has one link: subscribe. Boom. I love that that's right up in the upper right-hand corner. That's all it says is subscribe. He doesn't have links to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. He's trying to keep people on platforms. So he's got a link here, and he's got a subscribe link right below it. Strong, strong way to be, my man. I love right here coming in that the first thing I see is you've got some featured content for me as a new viewer. But let me ask the other question, right? I'm going to subscribe to your channel and let me reload it, and I want to know coming back. So if I come back and now I'm a subscriber, what do I see? I don't see any featured content. I don't see any featured content here. Now, sometimes YouTube gets it wrong and doesn't always display it properly. But listen, you've done the thing that I mentioned. You've got popular uploads. Listen, if I want to see your new piece of content, feature it for me. But in the meantime, you're putting all this stuff that may or may not be related. Get this out of here. I want well-optimized playlists, content that works together, all right? Because the better you can make your content work together, the better it's going to perform. I'll tell you right off the bat the thing I see, and you guys, I want to tell me if you see the same thing I'm seeing. Right here, all of these thumbnails look really similar, really similar. If I saw this first one come across my homepage or suggested, and then I saw this one come up later on, and maybe that one came up later on, they all look identical to me. I have no idea whether I've seen these or not, unless I looked for the red stripe underneath that was a progress bar, like in this first one that it started to play. You've got to be able to distinguish yourself. If you're making thumbnails that are identical, how does someone know? Because you put part 1, part 2, part 3, that's not going to do it. That's going to hurt you there. So what you want to do is make sure that each thing that you create is intentional and that is different and it reaches the viewer. All right. Let me look at quickly what you've got going on for videos. You've got some different ones here. This is a newer one. It looks like these you may have changed up. I like that. But even these are very similar. 3 hours ago, a week ago, 1 week ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. These are all very similar again. So I'm having the same issue. Like, how do I know? How do I know that these are all things that I haven't seen? It's really hard for me to distinguish that. So you really want to try to make sure that when you create thumbnails that people know this is something new, you haven't seen it. Another thing is you want to make sure that you're capitalizing on the successes of your channel. Let me reorder these really quickly into most popular. It'll give me an idea of what has done well on your channel. Now listen, everyone out there, when you're looking at your own channel, take a look at your videos tab and just hit that sort by and sort by most popular, because it'll tell you something very quickly. What videos are doing well on your channel? And right here I can see how to play Fire Pro Wrestling World Part 1 is the strongest video from a month ago on his channel. Fantastic. 216 views. That's great. But A month ago, 216 views. We'd like to see more, right? We'd like to keep pushing better, push more views. It's all about connecting with the audience because your newer videos aren't pushing that many as we were looking back at the original view. Now, knowing why that video did well is super important, okay? If you don't know why your video did well, then you're lost. You're lost because you have to know what's going on your channel. And I'm going to use Tubebuddy's Keyword Explorer to see if we can figure out why that video did well, all right? It was called How to Play Fire Pro Wrestling. So I'm going to type in How to Play Fire Pro Wrestling. Look at that. I already got World. I'm going to put that one in. Now, this was a target that was excellent. This was a really good target. It's weighted for me. I'm going to take the unweighted score. It's still a really good target. So you actually went for something that was pretty open. You picked good keywords. I want you all to understand one thing. When we talk about keywords, when we talk about what the Keyword Explorer does, this is really simple. Keyword research is not mystical or magical. All we're trying to do is trying to figure out what people type into the search engine and the way they type it so that we can make videos with those exact words in that exact order and go, oh, you're looking for this? I'll make that. I'll make that. And if you can do that successfully, you can get discovered. That means discovered. That doesn't mean that your channel will explode because all that does is put your video potentially in a place where people can find it. But then you still have to make great content. You have to connect because if people click and go, well, it was all right, and they click away quickly, then it doesn't matter how good your keyword research was or how good your title was because you have to connect. You got to connect. But I'm going to harp here for a minute. Let me go back over. So you did a really good thing. I want to see the results, and I want to see if you're in here. Look at this. This is why that did well. Okay. I don't know if you can see in the background up here, How to Play Part 1. You're number 3 for this particular target. All right? Do you understand how positive that is? The number 1 position has 33,000 views. The number 2 spot has 31, almost 32,000 views. Here you are with 209 or whatever they're registering. And then the next position, number 4, has over 6,000. The number 5 position has 54,000. You positioned this perfectly. You nailed the SEO. Not only do you have an exact match in the right order, but you put it right into your description. That means it's well optimized. You repeated those title keywords right in your description. You're number 3. You're positioned. Why isn't this video getting more views? Why did it die at only 200 and some odd when everyone else got so much more? This is where you have to start thinking content. It's content. I don't know what you did. I'm not going to pull up your video and play it. But I want you to understand that if you put it in the right place and it was there positioned to get views, there's a reason it didn't take off as many as well as the other ones in the same spot for discovery did. Now, that one's only a month. It could be because it's young. It could do very well over time. It could continue to grow and then take off. I've had many videos do that, and it may still do that. But I would look at your audience retention and your click-through rate. My thumbnail's got a low click-through rate. The average across the platform is between 2% and 10%. So if your click-through rate is only like 2 or 3%, or really compare it to your channel, like what's good on my channel. But if you're low, change the thumbnail. We talked about thumbnails already. See if you can make a stronger thumbnail because you can get the perfect discovery point, but it comes down to content. Views are not guaranteed. Not all views are created equal. You need to earn the views of the right viewer who's someone in your target audience who connects with your content and you connect with them. So if you're talking too long at the beginning of your video, if you're doing long intros, are you starting your video with an intro? Don't make me hit the play button. If you're doing stuff that's talking about you and not making about them and taking 45 seconds to get to your video, to the actual content, you're waiting too long. The first 8 seconds are the most important. You got to nail it. You got to grab people, drag them in. Say, hey, you were here to learn about World Pro Wrestling. I got it. Here we go. This is how we do it. Bam, on it. Go. Don't waste time. Don't waste people's time. They will click away quickly, and we don't want them to do that. So listen, I think your channel looks good. I think you have to work on your thumbnails. And based on the fact that you've got some of this stuff positioned for discovery and it's not getting a lot of views, then it's either your thumbnails aren't working correctly, your titles seem fine, or your content itself. Look into your analytics and see how the audience retention reports are. Because if they're only hanging around for a short period of the video and they're dropping off, then you need to do something to change the way you've structured and created your videos to grab them and hold them. All right? When people come to your video and they watch the first, this is all of you. When people come to your video, you get them for the first 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds. All you should be thinking about is, I got to hold them. And how do I get them to the next 8, 10, 15 seconds? And hold them for that next 15 seconds. And then that 15 seconds should be strong and powerful and really connecting, so you get another 15 seconds. Because we're trying to take from people, ask of them, the most important commodity in the world, their time. Their time. And you have to make it worth their while. You have to kill it. You have to make sure that everything that you put out there is like, they go, man, I love it. I love it. I love this channel. It's exactly what I wanted to see. You didn't waste time beating around the bush, all right, my man? But yeah, your channel, in terms of structure, looks good. Just get those thumbnails in place. Work on the video structure. See if you can improve the way you're connecting with people. Because I think you've got a great handle on the SEO. So kudos on that. A lot of people don't get that, and that's super important. Let me do this. Who else do we have in the chat? Who else wants to get pulled up? Anybody else want to get thrown through the gauntlet that I just put poor Hard Knocks Television? Yeah, Andrew just said, I'm reading, I'm a little bit lagged here. If your intro is longer than 5 seconds, I'm out. He's absolutely right. I think 5 seconds is too long. I don't even like intros. I like, show me the content, show me the thing, and maybe you have a quick CTA, call to action, that says, hey, if you want to subscribe, bling, hit the bell, boom, go, and get right back into the content. That's what's going to do it. Let's see. Oh, Cat Toy Lady is new but brave. That was the wrong words to use right there, because you're up. You're up. You're new and brave. That's the right words, actually, to say. So let me do this. Let me pull it over here. Let's go there and let's go there. All right, Cat Toy Lady. Okay, first of all, I love this image. This is fantastic. Cat Toy Lady. I would tell you that Cat Toy Lady could probably be a little bit bigger. It's a little hard to read. You got to remember that most people watch on a mobile device. That's the majority of people are going to be watching on a mobile device. So this tiny little Cat Toy Lady up here might be hard to read, and you want to make sure that maybe has a little more oomph to it so people don't miss it. It's a great name. But learn how to make cat toys, new videos every Saturday. I like that. I think that you could probably learn how to make cat toys bigger, and then maybe new videos every Saturday, a little smaller, and pull it out of the way, so that it really screams Cat Toy Lady. Learn how to make cat toys. Boom. If I have to sort of squint and go, I'm old, so I squint at everything. But if I have to squint to figure out what this is, make it more bold. Make sure it really jumps out at me, so there's no question I can read exactly what this is saying to me. All right. I love that you only have the subscribe button here. We talked about that. You didn't send people off platform. You're 44 subscribers in, so you're really trying to focus on keeping people on platform. Fantastic. Another thing that we just talked about, where's your featured content? When I'm a new visitor to your channel, hit me with your strongest piece of content right now. You only have one particular playlist here, and it's uploads, which isn't bad, but it doesn't do anything. Playlists can be discovered in search the same way a video can. So if you just put uploads, everyone has uploads. It's a default playlist. Put your new piece of content up here for returning subscribers. Put your strongest piece of content up here for new viewers who stumbled across your channel. And get rid of uploads. Uploads doesn't do anything for me. Let me see what's going on, how many pieces of content you're up, because you are new, so you may have just been started. Yeah, so you've got, perfect. You've got only 5 videos up so far. I told you, and you're doing great. The images look good. DIY cat fishing pole, kind of cool. I like what you're doing here. It's real easy to see. A little bit redundant on some of these, your cat toy wand. Make sure that they're jumping out. But these are good. I think they're strong. I can read the text really easily. Playing with your pet. I would talk to you about keyword research. And this is everybody. If you write a title, right? And in this case, her very first title over here of the most recent one 3 days ago was playing with your pet. That's the first part of her title, playing with your pet. So when we start thinking about, okay, well, is that something that I can get discovered for? This is where Tubebuddy is great. You can actually put playing with your pet in and get an idea if that was a good title. Well, let me tell you something. It's not looking good. And the reason is it's got an okay search volume. It's a little low, but the competition is through the roof. And the optimization strength, not so bad, but you'd have to get, this is right down here. Let me lift this up a bit. I'm using the weighted version. If you have a pro license or better, you can actually see who's been ranking with the least amount of views. And down at the bottom, the video that managed to rank in the top 30 with the least amount of views had 12,600 views. So you would need to beat 12,600 views with a video titled Playing with Your Pet in order to be found on YouTube. For that niche, discovered in search. Now, this is really, really, really important. I want you guys to embrace the fact that your titles are important. Discovery is important. Keyword research is important. If you're just naming your videos, whatever title you think is cool or might be correct for that video, you have to think about the way you phrase it, because the way that YouTube reads titles is the way that Westerners read English. From left to right, exact match in order of importance. So the important words should be right at the front, and whatever you write there is what YouTube is trying to figure out what the keywords are. So if you put, play with your pet or whatever your particular title is, you have to find titles that you have the chance to rank for, just like Hard Knocks Television did, right? He was able to phrase his title in a way where there was opportunity. He found keywords and search terms that people were searching for, typing into the search engine, but that also had the ability for him to rank as a smaller channel. So the biggest thing I would tell you, you're right out of the gate. 5 videos, you're doing great. You're doing great. Make more content, number one. That's the biggest thing. Make more content. You can't grow if you don't have more content. You're trying to build a catalog. So stay true to it. Keep building it out. But as you build new content, use the Keyword Explorer to find things that people are looking for that maybe aren't search terms that so many videos are made about. Because if you can make those videos, you'll have a better chance of being discovered. And if you have a better chance of being discovered, you have a better chance of winning the click. And if they click, then maybe you can get into building a really great video that keeps them watching. And we're right back to where we were, right? Find that target audience. Make the videos that they want. Get them watching. Keep them watching, right? Really super important. Paul Peck has 291 videos. Yes, he does. And you know what they're about? Drywalling, mudding, taping, you name it. His channel is so dialed in that he's no joke. He's no joke. Paul is a great example. Paul, do you mind if I pull you up, my friend? Just as an example, I really want to show people what this looks like when you're really dialed in, because Paul's been doing just great. I mean, just great. His channel's really easy. Drywall tube, how-to videos, tips, tricks, tools. Paul Peck drywall tube. Even the name of his channel is so straightforward. It's drywall. This is what he does. And he does this professionally. And all of his videos, look at the minute I come here, he's got a strong piece of content right there. Right there. Can you see what I'm talking about? I'm a guy who, right here, I'm subscribed to Paul, but right here, he's got a nice, strong piece of content for me to see. I would tell you, Paul, put your new video up there, because I'm subscribed. I'd rather see your newest video. Here I am picking on Paul, a guy who's got 59,000 subscribers. But look, he's got 422,000 views on this video. This one's got 1 million. How to knock down. I'd tell you the same thing, Paul. I'd probably tell Paul, popular uploads, put it up there. Put one new one up there and get these things up here. Paul Peck Drywall, most recent uploads. I tell him, bring the skim coating walls for beginners up there. Really push that content. But look how strong it is. Look at the way his thumbnails look. At a glance, how to apply a skim coat to your walls. How to use a sponge to match knockdown texture. How to skim coat using paint roller trick. Everything on his channel screams drywall. Drywall. Because he can. Because that's what he does. And he's so good at just sticking to that. Just sticking to that. And that's what you want to do. Figure out what it is that your channel is about and really hone in on it, right? The more you can really make that experience better for the viewer, the more you can convince them when they stumble across one of your videos to maybe watch another. Man, that's where the power comes in. Because every time, like Paul has a video that has 1 million views we just saw, right? How many of you guys would love to put up a video tomorrow that drove 1 million views? I haven't hit that mark. I haven't hit that yet. I've hit maybe a couple 100,000 on one. 1 million is a lot. But I'll tell you what, when Paul's video is driving views like that, The viewer who's watching it is like, this is great. This is fantastic, right? And Paul's happy because his video's getting views. But you know what YouTube is thinking? All they're thinking is, what can I serve this viewer next to keep them watching? And Paul makes sure that his content is the next piece of content that those viewers get served. Because he's got so many great things that target that niche, connected together into playlists, right? He's got that stuff working together. He becomes his own best salesman. That's why Paul has 59,000 subscribers. That's why he has millions of views. He found his niche, got in that lane, and doesn't shake free of it. He grabs onto it like a pit bull and says, this is what I do. This is what I do. Strong channel, man. Love your channel. Who else is out there that wants, who's James Walker? I'm pulling up you, James, my man. James was supposed to be in a private consult the other day, but he had internet connection problems. So let me pull up James and let's talk about his channel. James, first thing I'm going to tell you. Now listen, I want you guys to jump in on the action out there. You're seeing this channel. What's the first thing that you see that we've talked about? Remember the rule, guys? Bring them to the platform, get them watching, keep them watching. What's James done right here? What's James done? Right? He's got over 1,000 subscribers, but he's sending people to his website. He's sending people to his blog. He's sending people to Instagram. Man, when you're trying to grow a channel, focus on one thing. Focus on one thing. Unless that website over here is driving money to you, unless that's earning income, get that out of there. Get it out of there. Your goal isn't to send people off platform. Your goal is to keep them on platform. So I would say just start with that subscribe button and get rid of the other stuff unless there's a reason, unless this is intentional, unless that's making you money. Let Instagram be Instagram. Let your blog be your blog. Let's let YouTube be YouTube. One thing I really do like is coming here is that you automatically have a piece of content right here from 3 weeks ago. But I'm not subscribed, which is, I have no excuse for that, my friend. Let me subscribe. That's just mean of me. This is only 3 weeks ago. I would put your strongest piece of content, your highest converting piece of content for anyone out there. If you don't have a trailer, put your highest converting piece of content right here. Get people to watch a video that really turns them into subscribers. All right. And I'm going to reload this page because I just subscribed to James and I want to see, not unsubscribe. I want to see what it looks like as a returning subscriber. Same thing. I don't see your brand new upload up here. And again, sometimes YouTube makes a mistake and doesn't serve it, but I'm not seeing it. So if you didn't put it in there, get it up here. Let me come back. If I didn't get the notification, James, I want to come right to your homepage and go, does James have something new up? Yeah, you've got this here in your uploads, but I think uploads is not a powerful playlist. Uploads, created playlists, my top picks. What is my top picks? I'm going to ask you these questions. You're trying to make Casting Couch, my picks. You're talking a lot about yourself here, my man. The thing that we really want to get into is trying to connect with your target audience. Here, let me see if I can put myself back in screen so I can yell at you. The thing that is the most important when you're building your channel out is that you want to put your audience first. The audience needs to be first. And the reason that's important is because we're trying to connect with them and get them to watch. So when you say your top picks, your upload, what does that do? We want to put things in those titles and those descriptions of the playlist that really connects with the viewer. Put the viewer first, not you. If I don't know you, like, what do I care what your top picks are? Why aren't you telling me the best movies of 2019, right? The best unknown videos on Netflix right now, right? That's something I want to see. I don't need to know you. It could be anybody. But if you're telling me, so I'm on Netflix, have you done this? You go on Netflix and you keep getting served the same stupid videos over and over again, like that you've already seen 12 times. Like, I want to go, man, like, hit me with something that I haven't seen. I'm always on my phone going, please Google something on Netflix that's really good that I haven't seen. Provide me with that kind of stuff, or a new release that's coming out. Find a way to connect with your target audience to make them interested in things that you're talking about that they want to talk about too. Not your top picks, right? Make it about them. Make it about them. Yeah, but man, it's, I would say otherwise, James Walker Show, let's talk movies. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm seeing what you did up here. I think it's a little jumbled. I would rather see a picture of you up here than your coffee mug. Let's promote you. This is your channel, The James Walker Show. I would probably say, maybe put let's talk movies up bigger, because that's the real catchphrase here, right? And then maybe be underneath smaller, with James Walker or something, or The James Walker Show. One of the biggest things you have is Mondays at 5. I'm more concerned with clarity. Tell me what this channel is about the minute I stumble across it. You know what I mean? Really, just let me know what it is. I see it, bam, I get it. And it just gets a little hard to read. It's very clip art. The more simple and easy you can make it to people to understand. Simple, clear, clarity, focus. I want to stumble across this and go, oh, I get it. I get it. It's all kinds of movie reviews. He tells me about cool movies. And put those things in order. Make those playlists in a way that they work together. I talked earlier. Take that strong content, put it at the beginning of a playlist, grab the second piece of content that's the second strongest on your channel, and then grab that share and put it into the first. Go to your end screens, your cards, your description, your pinned comment. And at the end of that really strong video, recommend another piece of your content and keep doing that. Take your second strongest piece of content in that playlist and grab the third strongest and grab all the links from that and share your third inside of the second. So your first links to the second in the end screens, cards, pinned comments, and description. And then if people watch the second, then they get served the third. Like, here, check this out. I got another one. It's really good. Because people don't find most of your content on your channel. They'll find it out in the field, I call it, somewhere out on YouTube. So you want to make sure that no matter which video they find, it's serving another piece of content. It's recommending your own content. Check this one out, too. Be your own best salesman. All right, my man? All right, who else do we have in the chat who's who's brave enough to get up on the chopping block? We're getting close here. I've got 5 minutes. Andrew, shut me off whenever you're ready here, pal. You can yell at me. You know me, I'll talk forever. I'm going to look at the chat room really quick. Let me cross over. Let me take a peek at what's going on. Is there music playing? Is my music on? Why is that on? Sorry. Didn't even know that was there. Here's one thing that I want to talk to you about. Please look at me. Hold on. Who are you? Chunky Senpai. All right, you yelled it. I'll take a look at you. I'll pull you up real quick. I'll tell you right now, are you making the same mistakes that we're talking about? Because when I talk about things you can improve on, I want to make sure that everybody is learning. These aren't things that you find just in one channel. If I give someone a tip, it's something you should be applying to all of your channels, okay? All of them. I'm going to go to Chunky Senpai's. I like right off the bat that he's got his channel name right there. I can't figure out what this is, though. What did I tell you? What did we talk about? Bring people to YouTube, get them watching, and keep them watching. The first thing you did right in your channel art, you said, hey, Twitter, go somewhere else. Oh, by the way, don't forget about Twitter. Go to Snapchat. Oh, and forget about that. How about Discord? You know, that's great. I like the Discord because I'll tell you right now, with 18,000 subscribers, I'm guessing that you probably drive some Discord views. But I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to build a YouTube channel, I feel like that you should really try to focus on keeping people on platform, all right? And I don't mean that you can't have other links, but if you're going to link your Discord, I understand this. I can understand the Discord link. That one makes sense to me, all right? I can see that you have a significant amount of subscribers. You've got this one video here has 43,000 views. So that means you've got some strength. So having your Discord here makes sense. I can understand that you're probably a streamer, you stream games, and there's a reason you have this here. So it makes sense to me. I understand it. And you can actually start bringing people back to YouTube from there. But when I see Twitter and Snapchat all up here, it's sending a lot of messages where you keep sending people all over the place. Let's keep them on platform because it doesn't matter the size of your channel. You really want to do things that keep people watching YouTube. You're trying to build a YouTube channel. I would tell you, let Snapchat be Snapchat. Let Twitter be Twitter. Another thing we were talking about already, how many videos do you have up? Because all I see is this piece of content recommended to me as a new viewer, which is cool. It's got 43,000 subscribers. I think that's cool. That's great that this is here. New code, how to get any devil fruit you want. I like that. Compelling. But underneath, all you have for playlists is just uploads. That's it. You can have up to 10 pieces of content down below. You've got one. This is it. Just uploads. But when I go to your videos tab and see what you actually have going on, you have a lot of content. I mean, you look at this. This is content. Get these things into playlists. Let me see if you have playlists. This channel has no playlists. This channel has no playlist. It tells me right here, this channel has no playlists. All right, listen, we need to talk. we need to talk. This is really important. This is really important. The reason that channels grow is because they get very focused into doing one thing really well, and they stay within that niche. It looks like you've got some gaming videos here that have done well. I don't know where the views are from. Are they all organic? I'm gonna assume that maybe all those views are real. I like to believe that people aren't advertising and trying to pay for views, but with the line of work I'm in, I see a lot of money being thrown at things. You've got a lot of videos out. You've got some that have done really well. If that's organic and it all was just by making great videos and they were discovered on the platform and you have no playlists, you're not recommending your own content. Every one of you out there, listen to me. Listen to me. The reason that I was able to get up to 20,000 subscribers in a little over a year is I made strong content that all was very similar and similar topics, similar niche-based, very narrow, and every single one of those recommended my other content. I am my own best suggested. If I go into my traffic sources, the reason that my videos are my own best suggested. If I look at my suggested traffic, I am my top suggested because I keep pinning all of my own content within my other videos and I get my content to recommend itself. So if you see one of my videos, you can't get away from me saying, hey, end screen, hey, card, hey, description, pin comment. If you like this video, come check this other one out. Be your own best salesman. Make playlists. YouTube is constantly trying to figure out what to serve the viewer every time that viewer is watching one of your videos. You need to get in the game. You need to get in the game and you need to convince YouTube, hey, I'm working with you. I know what you want. I'm going to make sure I help you so I can get this viewer to watch another one of mine. Because if they're not going to watch another one of your videos next, they're going to watch someone else's that gets suggested or recommended. And if that viewer watches one of yours and then goes on to watch someone else's video, guess what happens the next time another viewer comes along who watches another piece of your content? YouTube is thinking, what can I serve this viewer next to keep them watching? Oh, I know, the last guy went to this other channel. He went over to Markiplier's channel, right? And really started loving his. So let's serve him some Markiplier. That's fantastic. It keeps people on the platform, but it doesn't help your channel grow, right? It doesn't help your channel grow. And that's so important. You need to be your own best salesman. Build content that works together. Playlists. Make playlists, all right? Super important. Where are we at now? I'm at 6:01. How about I'll do one more channel review? All right, and we'll wrap this thing up. I know that I've made poor Andrew lose his mind today. Who's out there? I truly need advice and would like you to give me some pointers. Stacking Stormtrooper. All right, guess what? Oh, let me see. I just lost you. Stacking Stormtrooper. You're up. Let me just make my channel. Actually, pull this channel up. Let me see if I can find you. All right. Let me go back down here. Let's take a look at your channel. All right. Stacking Stormtrooper, pop culture and Star Wars. All right. So one thing I like is immediately I kind of get what this channel is about. That's really cool. I like that you did this. Press to fire super laser, subscribe, right? You've got only one thing up here, which is what I talked about, guys. When you're a small channel, and I'm a small channel. We're all small channels, unless you're, several 100,000 views. We're small channels. So this is great. He's only got one link up here, and it's just the subscribe link, and he's even got his channel art pointing down to it. So it really says, hey, while you're here, check this out. I really love that you have content right here featured. Fantastic. But I'm going to talk to you about the same thing that I said to other people. Your first playlist is Stacking Stormtrooper Uploads. Stacking Stormtrooper Uploads is not something people search for. Your content in that playlist is the Stacking Stormtrooper Show, episode 26. All of these thumbnails look identical. If I saw one of these the other day, I watched one, and then YouTube served me another one, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I saw this one here, and then YouTube serves me this one. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I already saw that. Oh, here's that. It says, yeah, I saw that one. And then this one comes up, they're trying to serve me videos, and I'm just not clicking because I'm like, I already saw that. So if I don't know that these are all different, you're not helping me out. And you're starting with titles that say the Stacking Stormtrooper Show, episode 26. When you're a small channel, we talked about these titles. You need to leverage things that people are looking for. And I can guarantee that if I go up here and I open up the Keyword Explorer, let's see if there's any value to the Stacking Stormtrooper Show. If I can spell the Stacking Stormtrooper Show. It's going to be one of these things that, okay, it says good, 147. The search volume on this is poor. So it's a good target for the tiniest of channel, but the top ranking video in here, average, only has, or the average view is 197. And guess what? You probably own this category. Yes, you do. Every video in here is just you. There is no room to grow. You're not expanding upon another video or another topic or the Stormtrooper word itself because you own all the positions. So every view that these have gotten so far, you've maxed out. There's not going to be anything else happening with these unless these videos just connect with the viewer and explode. So if there's 203 views, 177, 169, you need to find topics that really will push your channel forward, all right? And I mean that in a smart way. If you're making stuff that's all about you, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. This is my Stacking Stormtrooper show. What does that mean to me? You're supposed to be about Star Wars and pop culture? I really want to know more about Star Wars and pop culture, and I want you to find targeted keywords that you can use in your titles. Create videos that people are looking for. If you're trying to get people invested in you as a character, but they don't know who you are yet, it's the hardest way to grow. Leverage things that people are already looking for and make those videos. You could probably find 1 million Star Wars titles, things that people are looking for, that they want to know about Star Wars, things that people actually search. Figure out titles that you can rank for, and then talk about that pop culture in Star Wars, making those videos that are leveraging the information that people already want to know. And if you can do that successfully, then you'll really start getting your channel to take off. And lose these titles, Stacking Stormtrooper uploads as playlist titles, random humor you have for another one I'm looking at. You've got Star Wars in general, very hard to rank for. Think about this. There's a better way to put this together, my friend. All right, there's a better way that you can build something that leverages the things that people are already looking for in the Star Wars world, right? In things that they want to know about. So important, because if you just make content that you think is clever, or you think that, it's funny, you're expecting people to come stumbling across and fall in love with you. And it's just not the way that YouTube works. You really have to leverage things that will connect with people, right? And if I don't know what the Stacking Stormtrooper is, I'm like, that's a character. I don't know what that is, but I know what Star Wars is. So give me give me information, give me something that I can work with. All right. If you can really target the things that people are looking for and make those videos, you can start leveraging those videos on top of each other. Like we said, instead of having all these similar thumbnails and all these leveraging Stacking Stormtrooper, which is clever to you, but it doesn't mean anything to me. You could be leveraging something else and building something that could connect. Star Wars is a tough enough niche to be found in. If you start hurting yourself by making titles that are not discoverable, then you're going to have things like you rank for Stacking Stormtrooper. My other channel, I have the #1 ranking video on Google and on YouTube for sauerkraut milkshake. That's fantastic. Nobody searches for that. I'm not going to drive any traffic. I got the #1 spot, but who cares, because nobody looks for that. Same thing with Stacking Stormtrooper. You got to be smart about the titles you build. Everyone out there, think about the way you're building content, the way you're trying to connect with your audience. Find things that they're looking for and make those videos. Don't make the videos and then figure out how to title them or how to build your thumbnails. Make them unique, make them compelling, make them discoverable. All right? Listen, guys, I've been talking for a while now. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you. I super appreciate it. And I know yesterday was a bit of a travesty. I'm glad we kind of got through today, sort of, not too much danger. And listen, I want every one of you guys to grow. My whole goal here is to make sure that every one of your channels reaches the point that you want it to get to. If that's monetization, if that's 10,000, if that's 20,000 subscribers, if you're in this to make money, if you're in this to grow, if you're in this to connect with people, I want to help you do that. And I'm going to be back here on the Tubebuddy channel every month, talking about these things, pulling up channels, talking about how we can make these channels grow together, all right? Because the better your channel does on the platform, the better we all do. We want channels on YouTube to do well. And if we can help you get there, that's what we're going to do. All right? So listen, guys, I hope you have a really great day. It's been fantastic, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.